Hello, dear students. Greetings to all. Today we begin a new chapter, Chapter 4 Agriculture. Agriculture is one of the oldest activities of mankind. Agriculture is the most basic resource as it provides food, clothing, and shelter to mankind. The word agriculture is derived from a Latin word. There are two words, ager, which means pieces of land, and culture, ploughing or tilting. Usually we think that agriculture means just growing something like wheat or rice only. But it is not only growing rice or wheat. It also includes animal husbandry, forestry, horticulture, etc. All these activities are called agriculture. Agriculture is one of the oldest activities of mankind, and it is the basic resource of human being as it provides shelter, food, and cloth. Agriculture can be traced back to Neolithic period. By the end of Stone Age, people started to cultivate crops for food and cloth. So if you look at the history of agriculture, we can see that there is a very big change from the primitive time till now. Right now, the people are using most modern mechanisms to cultivate the crops and other things. So we can say that agriculture became highly mechanized, not only in case of cultivating some crops, but also in animal husbandry or fishing, etc. In all the fields, we can find the development of mechanisms and the growth of mechanisms. So agriculture became more developed now. When we study the river valley civilizations in history, we have seen that the people lived on the basins of or in the banks of rivers, and all of them were dependent on agriculture. But later, agriculture expanded in drier and colder regions also. But even then, it is clear that we cannot cultivate the crops or we cannot do the agriculture in everywhere. It is dependent on many things like soil, temperature, rainfall, etc. All these factors are influencing the agriculture. Earlier, the people were more engaged in agriculture and they were using a sickle and a spade. But now it became mechanized and they were using tractors and all. So it reduced the number of farmers, or we can say that it has reduced the number of people occupied in agriculture work. In this chapter, we will be looking at different points like different types of agriculture. There are mainly two types of agricultures are there. One is subsistence agriculture and the next one is commercial agriculture. Subsistence agriculture or a subsistence farming is practiced mainly to meet the requirements of the local community, while the commercial agriculture is for the larger community, that means for the market. They will be producing the things for the market or selling it outside. And under the heading of subsistence farming, there are nomadic herding, shifting farming, intensive farming, and extensive farming. We will be looking at very thoroughly in the coming classes. When we look at the extensive farming, there are two more points coming up. That is food crops and cash crops. The farm, rice, wheat, etc. are the food crops, while cotton, jute, etc. are the cash crops. Commercial farming means the farming will be done in a large number or it will be in a large quantity. So they will cultivate the products in hectares of lands, or hundreds of hectares will be used for producing something like coffee, tea, rubber, etc. And by the end of the chapter, we will be looking at green revolution also. And what are the drawbacks of green revolution? What is green revolution? And what are the benefits of green revolution? In this chapter, it is an introduction for this chapter. In the coming classes, we will be looking at the subsistence farming, thereafter the commercial farming, and finally the green revolution. Have a nice day. God bless you all.